According to the tiny black lettering at the bottom of the cartoon, Currier and Ives, the venerable New York lithographers, had dreamed up this weird scenario in 1882. The poster impressed me, but I didn't know what to make of it, so I moved on to another folder of material. No sooner did I open it than 6 more unfamiliar Oscars stared back at me. These were 6 cards, small enough to fit into my palm. On each one, Oscar had a different ethnicity. He was Irish, Chinese, French, German, black, and finally, a white American. Like the big Currier and Ives poster, the cards were dated 1882. Was the year significant? I wondered. Was there a pattern here? And what did these ethnic groups have to do with Wilde anyway? The 6 little faces stared back at me like pieces of a puzzle I couldn't solve. How they fit together was a mystery that couldn't easily be explained away. Stumped, I slid the 6 cards back into their sleeve, handed them back to the librarian, and called it a day. Years passed, but I couldn't unsee those alternative Oscars. They fascinated me. What was the matter with Oscar Wilde? What was the matter with these images? Whose lives were they really about? What mattered to the people who made them? And, most of all, why did this happen? These questions evolved into a quest to solve the mystery of Wilde's identity. I eventually discovered the answers in libraries and in the collections of private individuals. I found them by digging through rare books, reading unpublished letters, and examining priceless manuscripts. But I also found many answers tucked away in vast online archives and in algorithm-driven databases. None of this digital treasure trove was available to previous biographers, and it revealed a side of Wilde that nobody had suspected. For over a century, St. Oscar's secret life lay buried in these unexamined artifacts, hidden from sight and scattered in sprawling repositories located all over the world. Without today's resources, it would have been almost impossible to excavate this forgotten history and bring it to light. The book you are holding in your hands could not have been written before now. Technology's great leap forward has propelled scholarly research into the digital future. The golden age of the archive has arrived. The historian of the future, when he sits down to wrestle with the great events of this epoch, is going to have his hands full. The New York Tribune confidently predicted in the spring of 1882. The year was to extinguish some of the age's brightest luminaries, including the naturalist Charles Darwin and the Italian politician Giuseppe Garibaldi, the philosopher Ralph Waldo Emerson, the novelist Anthony Trollope, and the poets Henry Wadsworth Longfellow and Dante Gabriel Rossetti. Yet those 12 months also gave life to the men and women who would help to make the 20th century properly modern. It saw the births of Virginia Woolf and James Joyce, Igor Stravinsky, the suffragette Sylvia Pankhurst, the painters Georges Braque and Edward Hopper, the psychoanalyst Melanie Klein, and the Hollywood movie pioneer Samuel Goldwyn. For the United States and Britain, 1882 was electrifying, quite literally. Thomas Edison inaugurated the world's first commercial electric power plant, and in East London, Britain's first electric tram trundled down the line. Meanwhile, in the Strand, the newly equipped Savoy Theatre, the first public building in the world lit entirely by electricity, reopened with the year's hottest ticket, Gilbert and Sullivan's Patience, or Bunthorne's Bride. All this novelty marked a jump towards modernity, yet other events signaled a longing to preserve the status quo, or even go back in time. The United States' new immigration policies reflected this zeitgeist. The 1882 Chinese Exclusion Act shut the door on skilled and unskilled laborers from China. The same year, another immigration act empowered authorities to deny entry to any convict, lunatic, idiot, or any person unable to take care of himself or herself without becoming a public charge. Regardless of such policies, the huddled masses would continue to land at America's door.